Good morning. Happy Saturday to everybody. Happy weekend. The weekend is finally here. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to enjoy my morning coffee with you guys. Sometimes I'm a morning person. Sometimes I'm not, depending how well I slept the night before. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. But coffee, like anything else, gets me going in the morning. So what I wanted to talk about today, and I don't know too much about this author. I'm sure a lot of people who might be watching probably know more than I do, and maybe I might do some research and come back with another episode discussing more about this gentleman's life in depth. I'm just going to talk about what I took from a YouTube video which covered him and how it's inspiring me, and maybe somebody out there might benefit from this information. I'm talking about the author Charles Bukowski, who his name isn't popping up recently, mainly on YouTube, or even when I go place, I think I even see sometimes like flyers with his name on it. Or I had never heard of him, but I saw a YouTube video discussing him recently, and apparently Mr. Bukowski was not recognized until he was about 50 years old. That he always wanted to be a writer, and he kept submitting submissions, I guess, to publishers, and he kept getting rejected. But he would just keep working. He worked a lot of odd jobs, to put a roof over his head. But he kept writing for the love of money. And according to this YouTube video, he was also a very, very heavy drinker. That in addition, to writing, he loved to drink, and he was, he was proud of, I don't know, proud, but he was shameless about it. He was honest. It came out in his writing. I think that's why a lot of the publishers wouldn't publish him, because a lot of his works was crude and honest. I really need to delve more into him so I can come back. Maybe I'll make another episode all about Charles Bukowski, what I learned about him. And what I took from this video, because I used to be more of a voracious reader. I used to read a lot when I was a younger person, and I remember reading about the life of the late author Jack London. And what I took for it, he reminded me a lot about Jack London. One thing they both had in common was they had both worked for the post office. And I think, according to this video, Charles Bukowski was given the option of signing a contract with a publisher for a book deal when he was 50 years old, which, it comes with its risk when you're in entertainment, when you're an actor, when you're an author. The money only comes when the contracts are there. Or he could have stayed with the post office, and he would have had a definite pension. And he thought about it very carefully, and he thought in life, you could have a quick death or you could have a slow death. In his mind, working for the post office would be a slow death. So he went ahead and he took that chance. And I guess the point of this whole thing is that he wasn't popular for many, many years, but yet he felt that he needed to keep writing. He did it because it sustained him. It kept him going. Even though nobody was watching, he kept doing it. And the point of the video was, your true, authentic self comes out in your art when people aren't watching, or you think people aren't watching it, yet you continue to produce your works. And that's the inspiration that I'm drawing from this. As a comedian, as a podcaster, as a musician, I'm always looking for validation. I'm always looking for views, for likes, for followers, for subscribers. And sometimes I get frustrated. I'm like, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep bother going to doing comedy open mics? Why do I keep posting my comedy videos on YouTube when I'm not getting anywhere? I'm not being offered any jobs. No one's calling me. Because that's when your true, authentic self comes out. When you keep producing, even though, and there might be some people watching, they're just not up there letting you know that they're watching you. So that's the other thing too. But that's what I get out of this, is just to continue to keep producing. And it's not easy. It's not an easy thing. That's what I took out of that, and I'm going to continue to do that. Uh, I'm sure I could say a lot more. I'm just kind of having one of those moments where I'm running out of steam. So maybe this is a good time to sign off right now. I'm just going to continue to produce content and continue to work on me and not focus so much on who's watching and who's liking me, because of, oh, this is another theory I have. If I don't put myself out there, if I don't, expose myself to rejection, if I do not get up and make my videos, I will implode from repressing myself and holding myself back. You either put yourself out there and you expose yourself to hurt from others, or you hold yourself back too much and you implode. You explode inside, and I refuse to do that. And that for me is what music and comedy and podcasting is all about. And another thing for me, going on social media looking for views, validation, and likes, it's not so much about wanting to go viral. It's not so much about wanting to be elevated. It's not so much of a need for accolades. It's more of a connection. Do people noticing me? Like, does my existence matter? Because of my phone is not ringing off the hook. Okay, nobody's calling me. And I notice whenever I call people, it's always me calling them. They're never calling me. If I don't go out, no one's looking for me. Quite often I go to social events, it's always me going up and talking to people. Them not coming to me and trying to keep the conversation going is like pulling teeth. So for me, social media is just like a connection, a social connection that I'm trying to find. But maybe it's the wrong place to find a social connection. Maybe I should be looking somewhere else. Maybe I should just keep looking inward and keep producing my content, podcasting, music, comedy, and keep making myself better and forget about who's watching. It'll be nice if some people called me once in a while. It'll be nice if people invited me out. It'll be nice if I went there and people came up to me rather than me going up to them all the time. But I can't change other people. I can only change myself. So I'm just going to keep doing myself. That's what I take out of it. Thank you guys for watching. And like I always said, I'll be back when I have more thoughts. Have a great day.